In the headlines, a Friday night deadline for restoration of service to Marpin customers affected by Tropical Storm Matthew. Dominica's tourism minister in Puerto Rico seeking to strengthen the country's ties with the cruise industry, and 53 young Dominicans nominated for the NYC's 11th annual awards this weekend. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News. Details after this. First up, while the utility companies have been out on the field restoring water and electricity to various parts of the island following Tropical Storm Matthew, MarpinNewsSept30th2k16 was not to be left out, as the telecommunications company also took to the field to restore service where needed. A Marpin News team caught up with a senior technician in the Technical Operations Department with responsibility for signal integrity informed us that power outages from Domlec's end has influenced the rate of efforts to restore service.
Fortunately for us, most of our outages were Domlec related. I'm saying this to say that in our areas where we have our power supply, Domlec lost power, so that kind of made it easier for us in terms of restoring our power. As if that's a good side. This bad side was we had to depend on Domlec first to restore the power to some areas to find out whether we had genuine problem with our network. It turned out that two areas were in such situations. Spollersville, where our own main switch to our power supply got burnt. We had to replace it. And at present, Soufriere, Scotshead area, we are repairing some fiber.
Rose says restoring service has proven more challenging in some communities in the south of the island.
The south of the island, particularly Grand Bend, we are doing a scouting in terms of testing and shooting our fibers, make sure that everything is okay, because Pishley in particular is without service. So we want to know that when power returns to the area, that our service is restored almost immediately. In terms of any breakages in our network, not really. We suffered very minimal damage in that regard, thankfully, unlike Erica.
Customers are being assured that there should be 100% restoration by Friday night.
We just want to encourage customers that if the service is back in the area and they do not have service, that they could contact Marpin at 500-4107 or any of our customer service lines. That let us know, because it's going to be taking us time to get to everyone, because in a situation like that, you give priority to the major areas first, and then simultaneously we would deal with the individual faults. Okay. As we stand now, hopefully by the end of the day, everywhere should be back up. Again, I'm reiterating that customers who do not have service, please call the office, because we don't want to say that we should have service back, and some people might always have a situation where they do not have service.
Minister for Tourism Robert Tung has gotten the opportunity to strengthen relationships with cruise lines as he attends the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association's cruise conference and trade show in Puerto Rico. The week-long FCCA conference wrapped up on Friday. Cruise and tourism agencies, tour operators, and port representatives attended the event. It's meant to foster a better understanding of the inner workings of the cruise industry and help attendees improve their cruise tourism business. Attendees get to be in the same room with about 100 executives from FCC's 19-member cruise lines who decide where ships call, what is sold and used on board, and how to invest in destinations and infrastructure. Mickey Arison, chairman of Carnival Cruise Lines, was one of the top cruise lines executive member Tung met. Tung is pictured here with Arison in the middle, and the tourism minister of the Bahamas and the chair of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, Obadiah Wishcombe. Carnival Cruise Lines is expected to make 6 cruise calls for this cruise season. Carnival is the world's largest cruise ship operator. Since it removed Dominica from its itinerary in 2010, tourism authorities have been making attempts to have Carnival Cruise Lines return to the country's ports. Carnival had cited high fuel costs for pulling out of Dominica, but authorities believed there were other factors which caused that decision and have since improved on infrastructure and certain technical aspects to meet cruise visitors' expectations. In 2015, 3 Carnival ships called on Dominica for the first time. Tourism stakeholders say they earn the most income when when Carnival cruise ships are in port. Still in tourism, the CEO of one of the world's largest resort companies has challenged players in the tourism industry to be more innovative to appeal to new types of travelers.
Head of Sandals Resorts International, Adam Stewart, told an audience of tourism policy makers at a recent tourism conference in Barbados that sticking to what has worked will not cut it. Sandals Resorts has properties throughout the Caribbean islands of Jamaica, the Bahamas, St. Lucia, Antigua, Turks and Caicos, Barbados, and Grenada. Stewart has warned that destinations outside of the Caribbean are proving to be strong competition in the tourism market.
While the United States continues to be the breadbasket for many of our regions, the American traveler is evolving and has evolved. They have more options. They are more sophisticated traveling consumers who cross age and wage, yearn for authenticity and experience, and the baby boomer generation, with the time and the money to go where and when they wish, are being courted by destinations all around the world. Sipping a pina colada is nice, but it no longer satisfies. There is more to our Caribbean, and our visitors want to see it, and they want to experience it, and they want to touch it. To the adventurer, we're renowned for diving in places like the Cayman Islands, Turks and Caicos, and Bonaire. But how many thrill seekers know about our canyoneering, or mountain biking, or river rafting, and so many more?
The Caribbean Tourism Organization has estimated that 30 million international visitors will come to the Caribbean in 2016. Stewart says while he is optimistic about the future for the industry, the scale is tipped towards business as usual too much. He's encouraging private-public sector partnership to advance the industry.
Over the years, this platform has been used to talk about the urgent need for collaboration between our countries, and that is certainly necessary. But I think the real roll-up of your sleeves teamwork has to take place between the private and public sectors, and I'm here to say it's actually happening. We have more to do, but these partnerships are making real progress in establishing a framework for success, understanding that private sector will assume the risks that are required for reward, and that government will be a committed, trusted, and long-term partner in the process.
Outstanding youth from around the country to be recognized for their exceptional contribution to development at the community and national levels on Saturday. This as the aim of the 11th Annual National Youth Awards being organized by the National Youth Council of Dominica. 53 youth had been nominated to receive awards under 18 categories.
Just to mention some of the categories, they exist in terms of community development, culture, sports and education. You have also individuals who are differently abled and who have made significant strides as far as that is concerned. We have also youth in agriculture, youth in tourism, also drama, and also art. If you look here, you'll see that Sadrach Burton, one of our feature and well-known artists, has received nominations for receiving an award. The two areas that we know notably that are new are the Carlinago Youth Awards, which is going out to someone who has made significant contribution for the preservation of Carlinago culture and traditions, and the differently abled individual, which speaks to disabilities and limitations of those persons, notwithstanding that they too are worthy of recognition.
The awards ceremony will be held under the theme Honoring Deserving Youth. Coming up, a Chinese team to perform at the Arawak this weekend. We'll have all the details. Thanks for staying with us. The struggles, loss of sleep, and sacrifice has paid off for 10 business owners. Dominica's Manufacturers Association, the Coalition of Service Industries, and Dexia collaborated in recognizing excellence in the manufacturing and services sector at an awards ceremony on Thursday. Winners were judged on management and leadership, innovation and improvement, customer satisfaction and results, information analysis, individual philosophy, people and people-related skills, and problem solving. The awardees were Fred Esprit of Esprit Ultimate Designs, Sorrel Consulting Limited, KBB Chartered Accountants, Pat's Extra Virgin Coconut Oil, New Beginnings Leather and Craft by Vanessa Winston, Grayson John Best Innovative Product, and Nature Islands Production, Mikhail Henderson and Jermaine Raphael, who were all absent. 6 individuals also received a certificate of recognition. Mike Wallace for manufacturing, Wynyard Esprit, recognition in engineering. Absent were Millennia Architects, recognition in architecture. Believers Multipurpose Corporation and Natalie Rowland, 100% Green, both received recognition for manufacturing, and Parry Bellot, recognition for management consulting. The award ceremony marked the culmination of By Dominica Month 2016. The town of Portsmouth is currently undergoing its makeover under its Portsmouth Development Plan. Parliamentary representative for the area disclosed that over $1 million have been set aside for roadworks in 4 main areas of the constituency.
Right now, we've costed the projects in the region of about $1.6 million, $1.7 million right now to resurface the roads that we are speaking about here, because we have some drainage work and some sidewalk works and stuff all built into that. Some of them we will resurface with asphalt, and some of them we will resurface with concrete.
As the government sanitation program continues on an island-wide scale, the area of Portsmouth is already seeing the construction of modern-day washroom facilities as well as home renovation for the elderly.
We have some washroom facilities that we are just building right now for a number of our elderly and other needy persons in the constituency. In Dodan, I visited about 3 projects that have started there, creating some employment for some of the young guys. We're going to be doing some in Bonn and doing some home renovation at the same time. And in Chance, the guys have started about 6 of those washroom facilities. One guy is doing 3, another guy is doing another 3 for some other families, and we'll do some home renovation at the same time.
The issue of littering, vandalism, and the questionable activities happening in revered places in Portsmouth are also being addressed.
We are rehabilitating the stone wall of the Portsmouth Catholic Church Cemetery. So some guys have started that program right now, because over the years the walls have deteriorated, and so the cemetery has become a thoroughfare for all and sundry. Even persons not involved in burying their dead are going to the cemetery for other purposes. And now we have another project for the public cemetery. We have submitted a project to the constituency empowerment so that we can fence the public cemetery. So anybody wishing to access the public cemetery, you'd have to go to the council and pay a fee. We want to put a fence and a gate so that that fee can go towards the maintenance of the cemetery.
Funding from the international community and an overseas-based mentor to guide the youth forward are what Dominica's female wildlife entrepreneur hopes to accomplish during her 5-week program in the United States. Andrea Louis has more.
Wildlife, the Young Leaders of the Americas initiative, is the brainchild of United States President Barack Obama and brings together 250 promising young business and social entrepreneurs from across Latin America and the Caribbean to invest in and accelerate the work of young leaders who are making their communities and countries more prosperous and secure. Valerie Honoré, a program officer with the East Dominica Children's Federation, says she hopes to gain a lot from this experience to share with youth in her community.
What I hope to achieve is basically just to learn from the other organizations, because I'll be matched to an organization over there for 4 weeks. So I'll just be able to get all the tools that I need, all the skills, and just be able to learn from and take it back home. In my community, which is Woodfordale, we have the Woodfordale Youth Group, and we also have an All We Need Is Love program, which was a program of Child Fund. And this program teaches youth how to love themselves, how to love others, how to love their communities, and how to lead change within their communities. I believe that we can all agree that youth, or people in general, is our country's most valuable resource.
Honoré says she plans to bring exposure to Dominica during her stint at Wildlife.
We're going to get to present about our country, present about the work that is already happening in our country with whatever field that people come into, well represent actually. So I hope to gain as much knowledge as possible. One of the things that this program also does, is after the program, you can also get to request a mentor who can come to your country and be able to see the work and help with whatever is going on. You can also get to access funding for whatever is going on in your home country. So I'm happy about it, and I really look forward to it. I've always had a passion for youth work, or always had a passion for community work. I believe that if you see a problem, that you have to be able to have the heart to change it rather than just be talking about it.
The youth leader is encouraging other young people to continue doing positive work in the communities despite the occasional feeling of discouragement.
For me, myself, there are many times that I feel discouraged myself, and I'm sure that other entrepreneurs feel the same way. But what I can say to them is, if you have a dream and if you have a vision, you have to be able to have the drive to fulfill it, whether or not the environment is enabling. So I would like to encourage entrepreneurs in whatever area you are, in whatever field that you work with, that you have to be able to push on, you have to be able to look at your end goal and just know that one day it will come through.
Honorary will be representing the establishment of a youth volunteers network in Dominica, which serves as a platform that connects volunteers to volunteer opportunities, training and empowering young people to become leaders while enduring change. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
A delegation of China's National Opera and Dance Drama Theatre began a visit to the island on Friday. It's the largest state-level theater with the longest history in China. The visit between September 30 to October 4 is to promote the people-to-people exchanges, especially in the area of culture between China and Dominica. It also seeks to strengthen the friendship between the people of both countries. Dominicans will have the opportunity to enjoy the spectacular Oriental culture and the masterful arts form, including dance drama and the traditional Chinese musical at the Arawak House of Culture on Sunday at 7 p.m. Dominican singer Mikhail Henderson will also join the performances. There is no admission fee. The Chinese Embassy and Ministry of Culture invite all Dominicans to this free cultural event. While here, the delegation will visit the Dominica State College for a cultural exchange with students on October 3. That's news, your sports highlights next. In cricket, West Indies went down to Pakistan by 111 runs via the Duckworth-Lewis method in their first one-day international on Friday. Pakistan took first knock and scored 284 for 9. Babar Azam made 120, S. Khan 54 and S. Ahmed 35. Carlos Brathwaite picked up 3 for 54. Set 287 for the win, the Windies scored 175 all out. Marlon Samuels made 46, Sunil Narayan 23 and Johnson Charles 20. Meantime, South Africa defeated Australia by 6 wickets in their first one-day international on Friday. Australia batted first and made 294 for 9. George Bailey, 74, Josh Hastings, 51, and David Warner, 40. South Africa replied with 295 for 4. Quinton de Kock scored 178, and Riley Russo, 63. Next up, 5 students benefited from the annual Billy Doctorow Sports Scholarship as Big Edge Financial Express observes its 5th year of operations. There was one new beneficiary to the list, Tyrese LeBlanc, who was selected for his achievements in academics and sports, particularly cricket. He represented Dominica at the under 13 and 15 levels. The others have received the scholarship in the past for similar achievements. They are Taj Tavernier, who copped the first scholarship in 2012, represented Dominica in cricket at the under 13, 15 and 19 categories. He also captained the Dominica under 13 and 15 teams. Janae Seraphine, who received the 2013 scholarship, played on the Dominica under 13, 15 and 16 squads regionally and took part in athletics at the inter-school games. Jonathan Henderson for his involvement in basketball in the under 15, 16 and 20 teams, including the under 16 tournament in Guyana earlier this year. He got the scholarship for 2014. And Janelia Phillip awarded for her stellar performances in netball, table tennis and athletics. She received the scholarship in 2015. Each student will benefit from $1,000 500 towards books and other school supplies, while the remainder will go towards transportation to and from training sessions. Students are selected by the sports division on the basis of academic and sporting excellence. However, they must continue to take part in sports in order to maintain the scholarship. Moving on to football, where 3 matches were scheduled for play in the 2016 Flow Premier League on the weekend. On Saturday, it will be a clash between defending champion Central Cooperative Credit Union Dublin Football Club and Sagicor Southeast at Benjamin's Park at 4 p.m. And in a double-header on Sunday, Petro Caribbean Point Michelle will do battle with RIC Kensborough at 3, followed by Bath Estate FC versus Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers at 5 p.m. Those matches are carded for Windsor Park. Back with more cricket, India won the toss and chose to bat first in their first test against New Zealand to score 239 for 7 in 86 overs. C. Pujara topped the scoring for day 1 with 87, with A. Rahane contributing 77. R. Ashwin came in with 24 and Virat Kohli was dismissed for 9 runs. Matt Henry picked up 3 for 35. The sports division will kick off the 2016-2017 schools competitions with the staging of the 2016 Independent Schools Athletics Championships in October. These comprise competition at the primary and secondary school levels, beginning with the primary school preliminary meets on October 5. The primary school games were originally carded for October 3, but had to be rescheduled since Tropical Storm Matthew affected preparations. The preliminaries for the North, Southeast, and the South zones are down for October 5 from 10 a.m. at Portsmouth, Castle Bruce, and Portersville, respectively. Those for the Northwest and the Southwest will be held on October 6. Those carded for the Northeast and West Central will be held on October 11 at the Londonderry Playing Field and Portersville, respectively. The primary school's Independence Athletics Final will take place on October 19 at Portsmouth. And the 2016 Independence Athletics Championship for secondary schools will be held on October 12 and 14 at Windsor Park. Finally, the 2016 Giant Malt National Rounders League will enter its quarterfinal stage with 2 games scheduled for Sunday. At 10 a.m., Posse Rock Stars will take on Rising Stars at Granby, while Margot Cooperative Credit Union Stars will battle St. Joe Phoenix at Portersville. That match begins at 1 p.m. The other 2 quarterfinal matches will be played on Sunday, October 9 at 1 p.m., featuring Maxroy Royal Challengers against Tremors at Portersville and the Dubula Almond Stars versus ACS South Defenders at Granby. That's all the sporting highlights for now. We'll see you in the next one. And now your weekend weather forecast.
Good evening, Dominique, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. We begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery. What it showed: a few low-level clouds moved across the area today, which resulted in fair to occasionally cloudy skies, and also some high-level clouds associated to what is now Category 4 Hurricane Matthew moving towards Jamaica. Now, taking a look at earlier visible satellite imagery. What it showed: patches of multi-layered clouds across the region during today. Taking a look at earlier radar imagery. What it showed: a few scattered showers mainly across the northern portion of the island chain. Tonight's weather is expected to be partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy with a few scattered showers, and tomorrow's weather is expected to be partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy with some scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms. Sea conditions are expected to be slight to moderate in open water, with waves peaking near 5 feet. For the next 3 days, wake instability due to the presence of a trough system and an approaching tropical wave is expected to result in partly cloudy to cloudy skies with scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms throughout the next 3 days. Winds are expected to be light and variable. For the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with scattered showers expected across most of the region, with some isolated thunderstorms expected across the northern portion of the island chain. Our international cities forecast: some rain expected in New York and London, showers and thunderstorms expected in Miami and Caracas, with clear skies expected in Beijing. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:55 a.m. and sunset will be at 5:54 p.m. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit our website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Have a good night.
To end the news, a reminder of the headlines: a Friday night deadline for restoration of service to Marpin customers affected by Tropical Storm Matthew. Dominica's tourism minister in Puerto Rico seeking to strengthen the country's ties with the cruise industry, and 53 young Dominicans nominated for the NYC's 11th annual awards this weekend. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Kenny Williams. To our viewers around the world, we thank you for watching. Have an awesome weekend.